Okay. Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good afternoon to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abady, and we are here in Frontenac, Kansas this afternoon as the Fort Scott Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball teams get ready to start the 2024 Frontenac Four-State Classic here today. There'll be games today, tomorrow, and on Saturday for all three teams. Looking forward to this tournament as we do each year. We're going to see some teams in this bracket that you don't see very often, as you see there on your screen here on Duckbait TV. Again, thanks for joining us here on Duckbait TV. But as you see on your screen, it's the Seneca Indians from Seneca, Missouri that is going to face Fort Scott here this afternoon. It'll be boys first here coming up at about 4 o'clock. And then the girls will play the last game of the day down at 8:30 this evening. Scheduled tip at 8:30. We'll see if that actually starts on time or not, as there'll be 4 games in this old gym today and 4 games in the new gym as well. So lots of fun stuff coming up for you here this week as the Tigers, again, will face Seneca here this afternoon, and got a little bit of a bonus as Seneca played Nevada on Tuesday night, so I was able to watch that game and do a little bit of research, not nearly as much as the team has done, I'm sure, on the Seneca Indians. But Seneca on Tuesday night beat Nevada. It was a pretty close game for quite a while. They were able to use some pressure defense late in that game and pushed out the lead there late. But Nevada was able to hold with them. They've got a little bit of size. Gabe Sykes is a 6'7" senior, but in that Nevada game, and it may just have been matchups in that game, not really sure. But in that game against Nevada, he did not play much at all. The guy that you're going to have to watch out for, though, is Morgan Vaughn. I believe he's the one that had so many points the other night. Actually, I believe it was Blake Hearn, now that I'm looking at the roster. But he had over 20 points in that game against Nevada the other night. So definitely somebody the Tigers are going to have to look out for here this afternoon. And looking forward to it. This is a great opportunity for Fort Scott to kind of see what their teams are like outside the SCK. That's the great thing about tournament play, is that you get a chance to come and see some teams you don't see during the regular season very often, if at all. And of course, in this tournament, not going to see probably anybody that you're familiar with, at least from this season anyway. Looks like we're about to get the national anthem, so we'll turn the mic up. Hopefully we can hear that. You can hear that back on your screens there as we get that national anthem in just a moment here.
At this time, we invite you to please stand as we honor our country and men and women that have defended and are currently defending her both at home and abroad in playing our national anthem.
And with that, we are just about ready to get things going here this afternoon. Thanks again for joining us on Duckbait TV, as we've got some fun action scheduled for you over the next 3 days here in Frontenac. All right, so it looks like we are ready for the starting lineup, so let's go ahead and give you those as the Tigers are going to start with their typical starting lineup here. 5'11 sophomore Dirks Kegler, 5'7 senior Cal Cousins, 5'10 senior Spencer Goldston, 6'6 senior Rocco Lafredo, and 5'11 junior Dub Chipman. For Seneca, it looks like they're going to go with 5'10 junior Zane Grochon, 6'1 senior Gavin Hoover, 6 foot senior Ethan Altick, 6'1 senior Morgan Vaughn. He is the one that had 24, 26 points the other night for Seneca in that win over Nevada. And then Blake Kern, who's a 6'3 senior. Those will be the starting 5 for Seneca. So they're still doing the starting lineups for the Tigers here. So again, the Tigers here this evening trying to get things or keep things going here. Their only loss a couple of weeks ago or a couple of games ago to Pittsburgh here in Crawford County. That was just last Tuesday. And then they got back on the winning track with a big win over Coffeyville on Friday night. That's the last game for the Tiger boys so far coming into this one. So Missouri's a little bit more liberal with their scheduling, and so they are able to play games in addition to their tournament games the week of the tournament. So that's why Seneca played Nevada. It was not a makeup game. It was originally scheduled that way, from everything I understand, for the Nevada or for the Seneca boys and the Nevada boys on Tuesday night. So it looks like Morgan Vaughn will jump tip for Seneca against Rocco Lafredo of the Tigers. Our first quarter tonight brought to you, as always, by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Jamie Armstrong. Huge thanks to Jamie for making that possible. And we're underway, and the Tigers get the opening tip as the ball comes to Fort Scott. They'll get it across the timeline. Now they try to get it down low, and the ball knocked away by Seneca. It goes out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Tigers. Just underway, just 5 seconds into this one. Thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV. Dirks has the ball out front for the Tigers. Now back over to Goldston. Everything's situated here. Each new place gives us some new challenges, and there's a nice bucket by the Tigers as Dirks Kegler got all the way to the hoop. That'll make it 2-0 Fort Scott here early in this one. Now Seneca gets it across the timeline. They'll have their first possession of the game. Pass comes to the top to Hearn. Hearn being guarded there by Rocco. Hearn drives in, now kicks it into the corner, back around to the top. Here's a three-pointer from Grote John. That one is no good. Rebound batted towards the sideline, goes out of bounds. They'll say it stays with Seneca. 7 minutes even to go here in the first quarter. Again, thanks for joining us on Duckbait TV as the Tigers and Lady Tigers start for the Frontenac Four-State Classic. Now we've got a discussion as one of the officials believe that went off of Fort Scott, so they're going to give the ball back to the Tigers here. And they'll get it quickly into the front court against this zone defense. Here's a three-pointer from Cal. That one's in and out, no good. These rims in this old gym, if I remember from previous years, much harder than the new gym. So, well, look at that. A little bit like, expect it to be a little bit like Labette County a few nights ago. Shot there missed by the Indians, and now they'll kick it back. Fort Scott gets it, kicks it back down the floor. 2-3 zone to start things out. They played a lot of man in that game against Nevada on Tuesday night, but did play some zone early. So we'll see if Fort Scott can break this zone. Nevada didn't seem to have a whole lot of issues with it, and so they switched to a man. Pass goes inside, and now it's knocked out of the hands of Rocco Lafredo and out of bounds, so it'll stay with Fort Scott. Fort Scott in the home white uniforms today, with the red letters, red numbers, red and black trim. Seneca in their road red uniforms with the blue letters, and then white numbers and white trim on those red uniforms for Seneca. They are red and blue, a lot like KU. Use red a little bit more than they do blue, it appears. Fort Scott just basically red and white for most everything. Now pass to the top of the key. They'll get it out here to Spencer into the corner. Nice drive there by the Tigers. Now they'll kick it back around to Cal. Drives to the top of the key. 15-footer is good. So Cal Cousins makes it 4-0 here in the early going for the Fort Scott Tigers. Pass over to Morgan Vaughn. He'll drive in. Shot there is good. And again, he was the one with 20, I believe 24 against Nevada the other night. So watch out for him. Fort Scott quickly into the front court, and it's knocked away and stolen. And now we got a whistle at the other end. Looks like a foul going to be called on the Tigers here with 5:06 to play. Fouls on Dub Chipman, his first. First free throw here is no good by Seneca. Gavin Hoover missed them both, and Fort Scott comes away with the rebound. Fort Scott trying to work against this press. They got to get it across the timeline. And they're going to get nope, they are going to get a 10-second call. They forced Nevada into a couple of those the other night as well, so that's going to be something Fort Scott's going to have to make sure they get the ball across the timeline. Four to 2, Fort Scott with the lead over Seneca here in the early going. Thanks again for joining us on Duckbait TV. Pass goes inside to Vaughn, trying to back down a defender. Fort Scott trying to get a charge there, didn't work, and now Morgan Vaughn has tied this one up at 4 apiece. Again, Fort Scott trying to break this press here. He'll get it across the timeline and then dribbled it out of bounds. So another turnover for the Tigers, and they're going to call a timeout and discuss things here. 4:23 to play in the first quarter. The Tigers taking their first timeout of the contest. Your first quarter tonight brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Jamie Armstrong. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact Jamie by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. Seneca has the ball back in play. Get it to Hearn at the top of the key. Now they pass it off to Hoover. Hoover back around. They get it to Grotejohn in the corner for three. He can make them from out there, and it rolled around and finally fell through. So Seneca does take their first lead of the ball game. After a 4-0 start for the Tigers, Seneca has scored 7 straight and leads it by 3 here towards the midway point of the first quarter. It's under the midway point of the first quarter. Fort Scott breaks the press this time. They get it out, and out of the elbow. Pass there is stolen away. Rocco a little unsure of what he wanted to do there with it looked like. And Grotejohn comes away with the steal. Head back the other direction. Drive in. We got a whistle and a travel going to be called on Gavin Hoover. 3:33 to go here in the first quarter. Again, Fort Scott trailing now 7-4 after starting with a 4-0 lead. Seneca's put this 1-2-2 zone press on it. It has caused the Tigers some issues getting the ball across the timeline. Now they do get it across. Into the corner it goes. Cal, and he's going to get fouled there as Cal went to pump fake, and Grotejohn took the fake. And they fell over each other. It looks like Grotejohn got the worst of the deal. Hopefully he's okay. It's like a quick sub for both teams here. As Grotejohn will come out in favor of Jace Schulte. Also into the game for the Tigers, Keenan Brown, a 6'3 sophomore. Schulte for the Indians is a 5'11 junior. Fort Scott with the inbound play here. Shot there is no good. Putback opportunity is also no good, and now Seneca gets a rebound. Shot inside, doesn't go, and now here comes the Tigers. And it'll get knocked out of bounds by Seneca. Now Fort Scott has the ball back. They'll kick it to Goldston. Now back to the top it comes. Around to the left side, it goes to Dirks. Dirks has the ball. Double team there. Now finds they get it inside. Nice job. That back door is going to be open. Noticed that in the Nevada game the other night. There's a shot there that's good by Goldston. They really pressure on the defense. They come out there, and I noticed it a few times in the Nevada game back on Tuesday. They pressured out front so much that the back door was open. Fort Scott may have to utilize that more often here this evening. Worked well that time for the Tigers. Hoover's got it now for Seneca out front, being guarded man-to-man there by Goldston. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. We got a whistle and a charge is going to be called on Gavin Hoover. Well, that'll be a turnover. Back over to the Tigers. Now Fort Scott again. They'll have to work against this press. Cal gets it across to Dirks. Dirks drives in, now kicks it back out. Cal into the corner. Cannon drives the baseline. Kicks it back around. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound deflected out of bounds. And Fort Scott's going to keep the ball here with 1:50 to go in the quarter. Now Dub Chipman will check back in as Cal will come out. Inbounds play comes deep to Dub. He'll make a move, go right into the basket. Now has a pass, and wide open underneath was Rocco Lafredo for 2. Now we got a whistle at the other end here. That'll give the Tigers the lead back at 8-7. And I believe they called a foul on Dirks Kegler. It's going to be on Rocco, his first. First free throw here for Ethan Altick is good. And now, Cade Johnson will check in for Seneca. Second free throw is also good, so the lead goes back out to 9-8 in favor of Seneca. Ball knocked out of bounds. Gets the ball back and goes to the basket. Spencer Goldston with the points. I'll put the Tigers back on top. 10-8. Now we got a whistle, and then they're going to call another travel on Seneca. This time it looks like it's going to be on Ethan Altick. Fort Scott will have to take advantage of this here. Fort Scott trying to break the press again. Again, it's a 1-2-2 zone press. It really gave Nevada some problems with that on Tuesday. Fort Scott has figured out, at least at the moment, how to handle that a little bit better here in this one. Pass around. Spencer for three. He's got the hot hand. Missed it a little bit strong that time, though, this time. And the rebound goes over to Seneca. Shot there blocked by Cannon Brown. Drive in again. This time it's good by Schulte. So he missed the initial shot. Cannon Brown with a block there. But couldn't grab a hold of the basketball. Now we got 30 seconds left in the quarter. Pass deflected, loose, picked up by Cannon. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Fort Scott's going to reset their offense a little bit. Oh, they got the backdoor play open, and it's good! Dirks Kegler with the shot. Dub Chipman with the assist. As I mentioned, that can be there. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Drive here by Schulte, and the time runs out. The basket is good, but the time ran out, so that will end the first quarter with your score. Fort Scott 12 and Seneca 11. We've got some great partners that have helped us out all year on Duckbait TV. Again, a huge thanks to all of those folks for doing that for us. They include Joey Fritter. Joey Fritter is a loan officer with Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender believing that better is possible. Constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone, Joey can assist you in buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan at 620-644-8146. State Farm agent Cale Nelson is your local agent for home and auto. Contact Cale for a quote. You can visit Cale's website at calenelson.com or give him a call at 620-223-2828. Highway 3 has modern, personalized fleece name blankets along with fun and unique personalized gifts. You can also now find Highway 3 products at several retail stores in the area. For more information, follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/shophighway3 or check out their website, shophighway3.com. About to get things underway here in the second quarter of play this evening, or late afternoon, I guess, still. Fort Scott looks like they're going to start the quarter the way they ended it, with Dirks Kegler, Cannon Brown, Spencer Goldston, Rocco Lafredo, and Dub Chipman all on the floor for the Tigers here. Ethan Altick drives to the right, now back up to the top into the hands of Morgan Vaughn. He'll drive to the bucket. Layup is good, and I believe that is Morgan Vaughn. Actually, that's going to be 6 for Morgan. He hasn't scored in a while. That'll put the Indians back on top by 1 at 13-12. Dub's got it over there. He's trapped. Now throws it across, and it's going to be stolen away. And now a charge. They're going to call a charge on Morgan Vaughn. They blew the whistle, and I thought they were going to get Dirks Kegler, but they call the charge. That'll help the Tigers out, so Morgan Vaughn's going to get his first. Foul trouble did not bother him against Nevada the other night. He got 2 fouls really early in the game, still ended up with 24, either 24 or 26. I can't remember exactly. Now ball knocked out of bounds on the inbounds play. Fort Scott gets it in. 13-12. Tigers with the lead. Or excuse me, trailing by 1, but trying to get the lead here. They'll get it inside to Rocco. Rocco back out. Spencer fakes a 3, now gets it over to the far side. Drive in by Dub. Shot too strong. Batted out. Taken by Seneca. And a three-pointer is good. I believe that was Vaughn who hits the three-pointer, and that gives Seneca their largest lead of the afternoon. Fort Scott right back down the floor, but Rocco missed the shot. Rebound Seneca. That looked like a block shot there for the Tigers. It's going to come the other way. And a layup is good. So back to 16-14. Another 3 here out front by Schulte. Was not the most consistent, but they were able to hit some of those big shots in that game against the Nevada on Tuesday. They now lead at 19-14, largest lead for either team so far today. Fort Scott's biggest lead was 4, and now a sub as Spencer Goldston will come out for a quick breather here. Gavin Hoover will be back in, as well as Gabe Sykes, the 6'7 senior. We mentioned him. He did not play a lot in that game against Nevada. That ball is knocked out of bounds. And then we got a whistle. Looks like a travel going to be called on Fort Scott. Johnson with the basketball, dribbling it out front, picks up the dribble, being guarded there by Cal, now passes it off. Drive here, shot there is no good. Putback is good, though, by Gabe Sykes. So all of a sudden it's a 21-point lead here, or excuse me, a 7-point lead at 21-14 for Seneca. Fort Scott's got to get a bucket here. They get it to Brown in the corner, now back out and around to Cal. Into the near corner. Now back out to Cal, top of the key. Get in there. It does. So Cal Cousins hits a 3. That'll stop the momentum for the moment. Back to a 4-point game at 21-17. Pass goes to the top. Drive in. Ball knocked out of the hands and out of bounds. It'll stay with Seneca, I believe. 4:39 to play. Now pass back out here for Seneca. Near the timeline, they get it to Hoover. He'll go right side, three-pointer on the way. That one is no good. Rebound inside and a foul going to be called on the Seneca Indians here. So Fort Scott will get it back over here. That foul was on Gabe Sykes. And now Fort Scott will get a sub as Spencer will come back in. Drive here by Cal. That shot no good. Rebound taken on the backside. Back around. Now a pass here, deflected, out of bounds, and it will go back over to Seneca here. So Fort Scott back with the basketball. We'll get it to Spencer. Still 21-17 here. The Tigers trailing, but with the basketball. Three-pointer from Dub. That one off the front rim, no good. And rebound batted and taken by Seneca. Three-pointer from the big fella. That one's no good. Rebound inside by Rocco. Now Fort Scott back out. 2:48 to play. Get it to Dirks. He's open for three. Got it. That'll get it back to a one-point game at 21-20. So Fort Scott was down by 7 just a few moments ago. And a little 6-0 mini run has them back to within one. Three-pointer on the way from Sykes. Again, it's no good. Fort Scott with the rebound. Now they'll kick it back around to Cal. Still in this zone defense here. It's been pretty suffocating for the Tiger offense, but a three-pointer there from Dub, and now a timeout by Seneca with 1:59 to go in the quarter. Fort Scott back up by 2 at 23-21. So 23-21, Fort Scott with the lead after being down 21-14, and now a steal by the Tigers. Ahead and a layup. Oh, it's stuck on the rim for what seemed like ever, and then it's knocked out of bounds by Fort Scott on the rebound. Tough luck there for the Tigers. Steal here by Fort Scott. Dirks will bring it down the court. Layup is no good. Rebound taken there by Seneca. Ahead, and another steal by the Fort Scott Tigers. Who wants to keep a hold of the ball? It's going to be a foul here. Foul's going to go on Gabe Sykes. That's going to be his second, it looks like. And free throws coming here for Spencer, and he makes the first. Second one is also good, so that'll give the Tigers a 4-point lead here at 25-21. Drive to the baseline, and the shot is no good there by Schulte, but he got the rebound and then turned it over. Ahead to Dub, it's good. And now we got a whistle and it looks like a foul on Fort Scott at the other end here. 42 seconds to go. Oh my, somebody slipped to the ground there, and now we got a whistle, and they're going to call a tie ball. It's another thing I remember about the old gym over here, the floor seems to be a lot slicker than the other gym. I don't know the reason for that, but you got guys falling down some. And now free throws coming here for the Tigers. For Cal, and he makes the first. These are the first free throws, I believe, no. Spencer had a couple a few moments ago. Cal so far this season just 35% from the free throw line, but he makes the first. Foul is called on Blake Hearn, his first. Team's fifth of the quarter, and both free throws were good there for Fort Scott. Now an 8-point Tiger lead. Pass goes inside, and now foul on the Tigers. 15 seconds to go. First free throw is no good for Blake Hearn. He missed them both, but Seneca gets the rebound. And now ball is stolen away by Fort Scott. Ahead to Brown. Shot there, block. Put back is good, though. And that will end the quarter, but Fort Scott with the lead, 31-21 here at the break. What a first half for the Fort Scott Tigers. As they come back, they were trailing 21-14. And so what would that be? 17 straight to end the first half as the Fort Scott Tigers take a 31-21 lead into the break. We'll take a short break here and come back with some halftime stats. This is Fort Scott Tiger basketball on Duckbait TV. Hi, everyone. Welcome back in. Hopefully you're getting us now. I got some messages that we were off there for a little bit. Hopefully you're getting us now here again on Duckbait TV. I will tell you this, if you want to catch the end of the second quarter there, or wherever it stopped to the end of the first half, I did not stop the recording. I did stop the broadcast and had to stop the live and restart that, but I did not stop the recording. I say that because if you want to go back and watch that at some point, pretty exciting into the second quarter there for the Tigers. Wait till we get it uploaded. We'll upload the recorded version, and then that should get the whole game for you. So hopefully that's the case. I do apologize. Something I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we did lose there a little bit. I know that I know when I worked in Nevada, they had issues with their live stream over here to the point where the guys at Nevada don't even bring their TV side anymore. They just do radio only here in Frontenac. So maybe it was something like that. I don't know. Maybe my wife unplugged me or something. I don't know. But either way, I think we're back on now and going. So anyway, we are at halftime. The Fort Scott Tigers lead it 31-21. Fort Scott scored the last 17 points of the second quarter. So that's what I said. If you want to go back later on, once we get the recorded version uploaded, you should have the whole game there because we did not stop the recording. We stopped the live stream and reset that, but we did not stop the recording. So once we get that in, it'll probably be after the girls' game later tonight before we get everything uploaded there. But if you do want to go back maybe tomorrow morning and check that out, feel free to do so because, like I said, they scored the last 17. Fort Scott scored the last 17 points in the second quarter there and went from down 21-14 to up 31-21. That's where we sit right now at halftime. So, again, the Fort Scott Tigers with a big end to the second half, and we'll see if Fort Scott can get those can keep that momentum going here as we switch ends at halftime. But again, Fort Scott with the lead here and looking good at the moment. Now, again, this Seneca team is very good. They beat Nevada the other night on Tuesday. It was a game in Seneca, but I watched some of that game, and they did a very good job. But Fort Scott right now with a couple guys with some big points. Dirks Kegler with 9. That's the leader on the spot there for the Tigers. Let me go look at this here. So Dirks Kegler has 9. That leads the Tigers in the scoring column. Cal Cousins has 7 tonight so far. Spencer Goldston with 6. Doug Chipman with 5. Cannon Brown with 2. Rocco Lafredo with 2. That adds up to 31 for the Tigers. For Seneca so far in this one. Just hit Fort Scott again. We just did that one. So let me get to Seneca's points here. Seneca is being led by Morgan Vaughn. He's got 9. Again, he had 24, I believe, against Nevada the other night. So Fort Scott needed to keep an eye on him, and he's only got 9 here at halftime. He had 13 at the break against Nevada on Tuesday, and that's with sitting for nearly a quarter and a half with foul trouble. He got 2 fouls really early in that game against Nevada. Still was able to get 13 in the first half, only 9 here in the first half against the Tigers. Hopefully Fort Scott can keep him at bay again in the second half. Then after Morgan Vaughn with 9, Zane Grochon with 3, Jace Schulte with 3, Ethan Altick 2, Blake Hearn 2, and Gabe Sykes with 2 as well. So Fort Scott, again, has done a pretty good job. And again, like I said, they ended the first half on a 17-0 run. They were trailing 21-14. They now lead at 31-21. So a big run there to close the first half for the Tigers, and we'll see if they can keep that up as we move into the second half. Let me see if I can get the bracket here for you. As Fort Scott is going to play tonight, tomorrow, and on Saturday. And there's the bracket for you. Here, this 4-state classic. Fort Scott will play, it depends. Of course, if they win tonight, they'll play the winner of, that is Piedmont from Oklahoma, right outside of Oklahoma City, Piedmont, the Wildcats. And so that they're playing Nevada there. You might recognize the Nevada logo there at the bottom, but that's Nevada and Piedmont. So Fort Scott will play, if they win here tonight, they'll play the winner of that game at 8:30 tomorrow night in the new gym. If the Tigers do fall in this one, they'll play the loser of Piedmont and Nevada here in the old gym at 8:30 tomorrow night. So no matter what, the Tigers will play. The Tiger boys will play at 8:30 tomorrow night here in Frontenac. So looking forward to the rest of this tournament, as we got some good teams to talk to about going forward here. And it looks like Fort Scott is about ready to come back out on the floor here. So we'll get things switched over to the third quarter and get you ready for that one here, as again Fort Scott with the lead, and Seneca will start with the basketball coming right towards us here. And we're underway here in quarter number 3. Drive to the bucket, and the shot is going to roll around and fall through there for Seneca. Looks like they are starting with their starting 5 once again. Fort Scott doing the same thing. The bucket there was for Morgan Vaughn, so he gets 2 quick. And now Fort Scott with possession. And pass deflected out of bounds. So it'll go back over. And now another layup. So 2 quick buckets here to start the quarter for Seneca. Just as quickly as Fort Scott got going and got that 10-point lead. Oh, nice job. They got it inside, but Rocco got just a little bit too far under the bucket and missed. So 31-25 now. Drive here by Seneca. Shot no good, and now we got a whistle here. And a foul going to be on Seneca. Morgan Vaughn missed the shot and then picks up the foul as well. His second of the afternoon. .620 to play. Ball back over to the Tigers here. Drive in by Dub. Shot there from 15 is good. So Dub gets the Tigers on the board here in this third quarter. Fort Scott, man-to-man defense here. Now a drive. Oh, shot missed by Vaughn. Rebound, Spencer Goldston inside. And quickly at the other end, the shot goes in. Are they going to count it? I think they are, with a foul on Seneca. Quick sub. What do you call that foul on Hoover? The basket was good. The free throw is good by Rocco. So 36. And now a steal for the Tigers. Dirks all the way in. The layup is no good, but foul, and they may call the foul on the floor. Whistle happened up the floor just a bit. You going to call that on Morgan Vaughn again? Yep, his third. And they are going to give free throws here to Dirks Kegler. Makes the first and makes the second. And another turnover for Seneca. Inbounds play here for the Tigers. They'll get it in, get it around to Dub. Dub drives into the lane, now passes. Had to chase it back down as it was deflected, kicks it back into the hands of Spencer. So Spencer works it left side, now kicks it back around to the right side. Drive here, left-handed layup, no good by Dub, and the rebound comes down to Seneca. Kick it quickly down the floor. Shot there is no good, but a foul going to be called on Fort Scott this time. I believe that's on Rocco. They're just putting the number of the player up there and not how many fouls he has. He's putting the team fouls up there. I think that's the third foul on Rocco, and that's something we'll have to watch as we keep going in this one. First free throw for Altic was no good, and now Fort Scott's going to get Rocco out. As Cannon Brown will check in. Second free throw is good, so that makes it 38-26 in favor of Fort Scott. Dip under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Spencer drives in, shot there from the free throw lane is good. Pass to the top. Now they get it inside. Shot there. Doesn't go. Rebound comes to Fort Scott. That was Morgan Vaughn. And I believe Spencer came away with the rebound. Down the floor it comes. Down to Dub. Now back out to Dirks. Around the corner, or the wing, to Cal. He'll drive, and we got a whistle. They're going to call a foul, or travel rather, on Cal. You may have seen Morgan Vaughn beating and banging inside there on the last possession for Seneca. We found out during that Nevada game he was one of their top linebackers on a team that went all the way to the state championship game. Ended up losing the Class 3 state championship game this last year in Missouri, but played for it. And so obviously some good athletes for Seneca. Pass here is deflected out of bounds by Fort Scott, so it'll stay with the Indians here. But Morgan on that last possession was beating and banging around kind of like a linebacker, and now we're going to get another sub for the Tigers as they're going to get Quade Moreland into the game. First time he's been on the floor in a while. 6'3" sophomore for the Tigers. Now we got a whistle and a foul, I believe, on Dub Chipman. And we may see some of these guys at the end of the bench play a little bit more this week because got to keep guys fresh, got to keep guys out of foul trouble. Foul there on Dub. His second, I believe. And free throws coming from Morgan Vaughn. He makes the first. Quade came in for Spencer Goldston. Second free throw is no good. And they're going to say Cal Cousins was out of bounds after he got the rebound, dribbled to the side, and turned it over. Now Spencer will come back in quickly, and Dub will check out for a quick breather here. 3:52 to go, and now we got a foul on the way to the basket, and the layup is no good by Morgan Vaughn, but he'll get a couple of free throws here. Foul's going to go on Spencer, his first. First free throw coming, and that one is good for Morgan Vaughn. Missed the second one, though. But Seneca able to get the rebound. That should have been a travel as he fell to the ground. Now Fort Scott able to get it out of there and get it down to Spencer Goldston, and he hits the layup. So it worked out for a transition bucket for the Tigers. And now we got another foul on Fort Scott here. That's going to be the third or the fourth. Or they just say out of bounds. Maybe they just said out of bounds. Well, they still got Spencer's number up there. I bet they called a second foul on Spencer, and now a shot is good for Seneca. Back to a 12-point game, and now they're going to call a foul on Moreland. So Quad A is going to pick up a charge. And they'll give that ball back over to Seneca here. Fort Scott with a 12-point lead, 3:14 to go here in the third quarter. Thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV. And we got a whistle here. Stoppage there. Asking about fouls over at the scores table, and it was, I believe, the 5th team foul on Fort Scott, but it was an offensive foul, so it's not going to be free throws. Shouldn't be free throws anyway at this point. So 3:12 to go. Inbounds play from the sideline. They get it into Vaughn. Turnaround shot inside is good. Lead back to 10. Fort Scott trying to steal some minutes here with some guys on the bench in foul trouble. Pass goes around to Cal. Now back out to Spencer. Dub and Rocco go to the scorer's table to come in at the next opportunity. Over to Cal, three-pointer, he's open. In and out, no good. Rebound. Seneca. Now a rebound at the other end for the Tigers. And a foul on the Indians. Got 12 on the board. I would imagine they called that foul on number 21. Jace Schulte. Three-pointer on the way, and that one is good from Ethan Altick. Make it 42-35. Inside, nice job as Fort Scott gets it down to Cannon Brown, and he'll score the basket. Push that lead back out to 9 at 44-35. Oh, and a blocked shot. Seneca got the rebound. Now they put one up. It's no good, and nearly had it. Now Seneca's got it back. Out to Grosjean for three. That one doesn't go, and now we got a whistle and a foul going to be called on Seneca. Technical foul has been issued now on Seneca as well. I believe they called it on Blake Hearn. Fort Scott's going to get a couple extra free throws here with 1:28 to go in the quarter. Did they call, and I wonder if they called the personal foul on him and he got upset about that. Rocco missed the first free throw. Coming into tonight, Rocco a 52% free throw shooter, one of the top percentages on the team. But he misses both there. Those may be the first two he's missed tonight, though. And now Dirks will go to the free throw line for the technical shots. First one is good. Second one is good as well. So 46-35. We'll get the scoreboard fixed here in just a second. Now Dub's got it in the corner. He'll get it back to the other side of the court. Now back around to Dirks. Three-pointer on the way. That one doesn't go. And now the ball is lost out of bounds by Seneca. Fort Scott to inbound it. 1:02 to go here in the third quarter. Foul going to be called here, it looks like, on Seneca. And foul is going to be on Zane Grochan. So Grochan picking up the foul there. Some frustrated fans on both sides of the ledger with the officiating. And the one thing about being at a gym at 5:01 local time is you can hear all of the complaints. So you might want to be just a little bit easier on those. As Spencer makes 1 of 2 there at the free throw line, so that'll give Fort Scott a 47-35 lead here. 34 seconds to go in the quarter. Pass off by Seneca. We got a whistle, and they're going to call a travel. .8 seconds left. Fort Scott breaks the press. Cal's got it. Spencer into the corner to Cal. Now he'll drive baseline, gets it back out to Dirks. 3 seconds, 2 seconds into the corner, step, throw up there, and it's no good. So that'll take us to the end of the third quarter with your score. Fort Scott 47, Seneca 35. We'll take a break, or take a moment here to get everything reset. As again, Fort Scott with a 12-point lead. Heading into the final 8 minutes of play here tonight. The girls play later on this evening. They'll play at 8:30, or scheduled time at 8:30. Anyway, let's flash the girls bracket up there. The girls will take on Lafayette. I had to think about that for a second. I almost said Lewisburg. That's not what that L means. It's a lot. It is Lafayette out of Wildwood, Missouri, which is a suburb of St. Louis. They will play them at 8:30 tonight here in the old gym. So we'll be right back here in the old gym later on this evening. And then the Lady Tigers, whether they win or lose, they'll play at 4 o'clock tomorrow. If they win, they'll play in the new gym. If they lose, they'll play here in the old gym again. But looking forward to hopefully getting back over to the new gym. That's where you want to be. That's where the winners bracket semifinals are. That's where the first place, the third place game is later on in this tournament. So you want to be in the new gym going forward. First day, wherever they put you is fine because you're in the tournament. But you want to be in, the new gym going forward. And hopefully the Tigers, they're going to have 8 minutes left here to try to prove that they can play in that new gym going forward here tonight, or the rest of this week. As we start the fourth quarter, Fort Scott with the lead. Drive here by Cal. He'll kick it back out to Dub. Now back to Cal in the corner. Cal drives the baseline, kicks it back to Dirks for 3 at the wing, and it is good. So Dirks with a big three-pointer there for the Tigers. And that'll get this quarter started with a bang for Fort Scott. Pass goes inside. And now back around it comes. Into the corner it goes for Seneca. Again, it's 50-35. Fort Scott on top. And now ball's knocked around and picked away by Fort Scott. Layup by Dirks is good at the other end. And that'll make it 52-35. Just under 7 minutes to go. Seneca back with the basketball on the left side wing. They'll hit it off to Altick there. And now Seneca's going to call timeout. Frustrated Indians coach over there is going to call timeout and try to get his guys on the same page here. Court Hardy, again, they were 8-6 coming into this one. They just came off a big win over Nevada on Tuesday night. Did get to watch a little bit of that game Tuesday, and they've got some good players. But Fort Scott has been able to corral most of their guys. Morgan Vaughn does have 15, but he's kind of the outlier right now for Seneca. Fort Scott has forced some turnovers, and again, getting information here as I think we kind of missed the end of the second quarter here on the live stream. We do apologize for that, but if you want to go back later on this evening or maybe tomorrow, we will have the recording. We don't have it up there yet, but we will have the recording. And so you can see the end of the second quarter in which Fort Scott outscored Seneca 17-0. They went from behind 21-14, up 31-21 at the half, and that's really where things turned around for the Tigers here in this one so far. Hopefully they can keep it up. Inbounds play comes in to get it to Hearn. He'll drive, kicks it around. A shot no good. Rebound Seneca. They'll kick it out, and a three ball is airballed and out of bounds over to the Tigers. Fort Scott with 6:20 to go. Now they get it around to Cal on the right side wing. Back to Dupp at the top. This Seneca defense is very good. They're very quick. They're very agile. And they're really making Fort Scott pass the ball, but they're doing it fairly well at this point. Pass goes inside. Shot there. It's going to hang on the rim for what seemed like ever, but does fall through for Rocco. So 54-35. Pass goes inside. Shot no good off the rim. That one hung on the rim for quite a while for Morgan Vaughn. Dub came away with the rebound for the Tigers. Ahead it goes, and Rocco able to put it in there. There's a shot for Seneca. That one goes for Grotjan. And now a steal. Three-pointer from Grotjan. That one doesn't go, and the rebound's going to be batted out of bounds. They're going to call a foul, it looks like, first, though. Who'd they call it on? Everybody's moving to the other end of the court. I think they called it, and they did, on Morgan Vaughn of Seneca. Again, those fouls reset at each quarter, so no free throws yet for the Tigers. I believe, and again, they just put the number up there. They didn't put the fouls on the players, so I'm assuming it's 4. That's what I've got in my book. Fort Scott with the basketball, 56-37. Shot there, no good. Now Euro step into a pass into the corner, three-pointer on the way, and that one is good for Gavin Hoover. And now we've got a timeout again by Seneca. It'll be a full timeout. .433 to go. H2 Painting LLC, the right way the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2PaintingSEK or call them at 620-605-2769. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. It'll be Fort Scott ball, I believe, coming out of the timeout. Brown is checked in for the Tigers. Spencer comes out. He keeps rubbing his right leg just a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. Now Rocco a little bit short on the shot there. And then the rebound was lost out of bounds. By Seneca, so it'll be Fort Scott basketball. Again, the Tigers in white. Oh, my. Fort Scott, the official kept it in bounds for the Tigers there for just a moment. It is turned over. Three-pointer at the other end is a little bit short and batted out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Fort Scott. 4:11 to go. And another Fort Scott turnover. Drive to the bucket, shot high off the glass, no good. And Fort Scott comes away with a rebound, 56-40. Now another Seneca steal, and they tried to get it ahead to a teammate, and it went too far. Fort Scott needs to settle things down a little bit. They'll get a sub here as Dirks will come in. Cal will go out for a moment. Fort Scott again trying to break this press. They will. And get it down to Spencer on the left wing. They're going to try to trap Spencer. They kick it back around into the corner. Now back to Dirks. Try to run a little bit of clock here. Dub gets it back to the top, into the hands there of Brown. And now it's knocked out of bounds by Seneca. So Fort Scott will keep it. 56-40 is your score. Fort Scott with the lead here. Fourth quarter, 3:24 to play. Inbounds play comes right into Rocco. Now he'll get it to Spencer, and Spencer will dribble to the top to reset the offense. Now they go right side with it. Dub drives in, now kicks it into the corner. Cannon Brown thought about a three, now picks up the dribble and picked it up a little bit too soon, it looks like, as they call him for a travel. They'll give it back over to Seneca with 3:11 to play. Fort Scott leading by 16. Trying to hold on. If the Tigers can do that, of course, they will end up in the winner's bracket and end up in the new gym for the rest of the tournament. Three-pointer from Grotjohn is no good. Rebound batted, loose, picked up by Fort Scott. Blake Kern trying to coax a foul there. It didn't work, and now Fort Scott with another bucket. The other end, shot no good. Rebound, Fort Scott. This goes around right side. Now Dirks has it. He'll kick it. Now back it goes into the corner. Drive left. Ball knocked away, but Dub able to get it back. Now he's ready for a shot and makes it. (60-40). Lead back out to 20 for the Tigers. Three-pointer is off just a little bit. Another rebound for Fort Scott. Ahead to Cannon Brown. and he will try to dunk it, but he let go of the ball too soon. Fort Scott able to get the rebound, though, and they'll kick it back out. Dub for 3, and too short. Rebound taken by Seneca. Now foul on Spencer. He's getting a little bit sloppy here. Now we got multiple whistles being blown. They got to announce the foul before the subs can come in. Thought maybe was looking down. I was hoping that there wasn't an argument brewing or something like that. Things have gotten a little bit contentious here in the second half. So subs here for the Tigers as Quade Moreland will check back in. Also Cal Cousins with 1:31 to go. Shot no good. Now passes inside, and it's no good. Three-pointer at the other end is also no good for Seneca. Dub grabbed the rebound. Now we got a whistle, and it looks like another turnover on the Tigers. 56 seconds to go. And another Fort Scott substitution as Reese Roberts, a 5'10 sophomore, will check in for Fort Scott. Spencer will come out. Rebound there for Quade Moreland. So Brown with that basket there for the Tigers. Quade Moreland with a shot. That one doesn't go. And that will end things here tonight for the Tigers. (62-42) is your final score. Get things squared away here. And that closes out this game here for tonight as the Fort Scott Tigers come away victorious. Your final score, 62-42. I believe that's the final score. That's what they got up there now. I think they gave that last Seneca basket to Fort Scott initially. But so, yeah, final score, Fort Scott 62 and Seneca 42. So Fort Scott will advance to the winner's bracket. After a 20-point victory here this afternoon. And so they will play. Let's bring that bracket back up. Get to it in just a second here. As Fort Scott will advance to the winner's bracket semifinals, and they will play at 8:30 tomorrow night in the new gym against the winner of Nevada and Piedmont. Piedmont is out of Oklahoma, just outside of Oklahoma City, and they're a big school. They're Class 6 or Class 5 there in Oklahoma, and they have, I believe, a 10-4 record coming into this one here tonight, or into the game tonight against Nevada. And so they will be a tough test for Nevada, but Nevada's a pretty good team too, so we'll see who they play, who the Tigers will play. Seneca, of course, goes to the consolation bracket. They will play the team that does not win between Fort Scott, or between Nevada and Piedmont tomorrow night at 8:30 here in the old gym. So Fort Scott again with the win, as again they get the victory here tonight, 62-42. Let's take a look at some of the leading scorers here tonight for the Tigers. It's going to be the similar suspects for Fort Scott. as they were led here tonight by Dirks Kegler with 18 points. I believe that's a season high for Dirks tonight. Let me get that, check that out. As his season high prior to this was 16 against Chanute. So 18 for Dirks Kegler as he gets a season high and gets in the victory here tonight. Spencer Goldston with 11, Dub Chipman with 11, Rocco Lafredo had 9, and then 7 for Cal Cousins and 6 for Cannon Brown. So that all adds up to 62 if my numbers are correct. And Fort Scott gets the victory here tonight. For Seneca, let's check their scoring as well. As they were led, no surprise, at least to me, from one game watching them before this. As I watched their game against Nevada on Tuesday night. Morgan Vaughn was their leading scorer in that one. He was their leading scorer tonight. Morgan Vaughn with 15 points for Seneca. Zane Grosjean had 9. Ethan Altick with 6. Blake Hearn 4. Gavin Hoover 3. Jay Schulte had 3. And Gabe Sykes had 2 in this one tonight against the Tigers. So once again, your final score, Fort Scott 62, Seneca 42. The Tigers with the victory here tonight. We'll be back on the air, right around 8:30 or so is the scheduled tip for the girls' game. Let's bring that bracket up for you as well, because we've got the opportunity to. So let's do that, as the Lady Tigers are going to take on Lafayette here in the old gym. Scheduled time is 8:30. We'll see how close to the scheduled time that is, but tune back in to Duckbait TV. I say tune back in about 8 o'clock or so, and we'll have an update for you as to when it looks like that game will start. But again, Fort Scott will play, again, and I say that because the final game of the night here in the old gym. So there'll be this next game coming up, plus another game, and then the Lady Tigers will take the floor against Lafayette coming up a little bit later. So looking forward to that. The guys get a big win, and the girls will look to hopefully do the same thing coming up later on tonight. We'll go ahead and close things out here, as we will take a break longer than just a few minutes before the girls' game here. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, a huge thanks to all of our sponsors, as, again, we could not do these broadcasts without our sponsorship help. Again, Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact Jamie by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. State Farm agent Cale Nelson is your local agent for home and auto. Contact Cale for a quote by visiting Cale's website at calenelson.com or give Cale a call at 620-223-2828. Highway 3 has modern personalized fleece name blankets along with fun and unique personalized gifts. You can also now find Highway 3 products at several retail stores in the area. For more information, follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/shophighway3 or check out their website, shophighway3.com. Joey Fritter is a loan officer with Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender, believing that better is possible, constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone. Joey can assist you when buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan at 620-644-8146. H2 Painting LLC, the right way the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2PaintingSEK or call them at 620-605-2769. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. And Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management Financial Advisor. Contact Chad for more information by emailing Chad at chad@1842wealth.com or call Chad at 620-215-9240. Again, victory here today for the Tiger boys. They win this one over Seneca 62-42. Lady Tigers coming up a little bit later tonight. Scheduled time 8:30. Check back to Duckbait TV about 8 o'clock or so, and hopefully we'll be close to that, getting things started. If it's not going to be somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30, we will have an update on Facebook as to, Facebook as to when that girls' game will start. You never know with tournament. Could start a little bit early, might start really late. It doesn't. Sometimes it varies, but hopefully we'll be pretty close to on time at that 8:30 spot. But anyway, Like I said, if it's going to be far off of that, we'll let you know via social media, so make sure you tune into that. But again, looking forward to that as the Lady Tigers take on the Lafayette Lady Lancers from just outside of St. Louis, the other big city in the area. I almost said Wichita, but it's the Missouri side, so St. Louis, and we'll have that one coming up for you a little bit later on here. For my dad on the camera tonight, Willie Abady, and to the family back home, and to all the duck baits out there, I'm Tony Abady. We know you have many options when watching Fort Scott Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball, but thanks for joining us on Duck Bait TV. Good night, Kansas.